But what's up with y'all? This Relly back with another video, yes sir. And today we got another video with Antonio, man.
Yes.
We're about to talk about some Cleveland Cavaliers, man. The Cleveland Cavaliers this week has been very impressive, so don't be alone. We just witnessed them come back large on the Boston.
Come back down 19 points. It's crazy.
It was looking so bad in that first quarter. Man, I'm not gonna lie. I was first quarter, I'm like, yeah, it's not looking too good, but we snapped back.
That's what I like about this Cavs team, really. You know, they never give up. They always fight back, and that's what I like about this Cavs team. Even when they're down big, they never give up. Like last year, they seem to give up a lot because they get blown out, and they seem to give up a lot. Like last year.
That's what I'm low key liking about these Cavs right now too. Now, take it though, because I know somebody asked me about, are you a little scared about injuries? Because it was like this kind of happened to the Cavs last season where we had a really great opener, and then we kind of went out because of injuries and stuff. I do fear injuries though, because right now, we had K-Love on protocol, right? We had K-Love on protocol.
Yeah.
Is Laurie hurt, or was he also on protocol?
Yeah.
He was hurt?
Yeah. Well, he was on protocol.
And then I feel like I'm missing somebody.
Lamar Stevens is hurt.
So, yeah.
And then obvious Collin Sexton is hurt, so, yeah.
That's who I'm missing, Collin Sexton. Now, it's crazy because I the last time we talked, we was talking about Collin Sexton potentially being shot. We don't want to pay him big money, but down the stretch, we are going to need Collin Sexton. Well, we're going to need somebody to score the ball like Collin Sexton, I think, right?
And that's when Darius Garland step up. Like, there's when Darius Garland step up.
Yeah, I agree with. Well, it's gonna have to. It don't necessarily have to be Garland, but it's looking like we wanted to be Garland, because if Garland can show us right now that he has a scoring edge to him, as well as him being a very great facilitator, I think we are gonna make the choice on Darius Garland over Collin, right? Because Collin's a good player. Don't get Collins. He's a good player. He can be a potential all-star, but it's like, has Collin Sexton grew enough for where this season where he's looking for a lot of money? Mm-hmm. Is he worth the money? And
the thing is he gonna be still asking for a lot of money after this injury?
That's true too, but I think so. And the only reason I think so is because it's not like this injury is that ACL. Even the stuff that happened with Victor Oladipo. Like, yes, it is something serious, but I don't think it's serious enough to change what he's making. Assuming he comes back because if he comes back this season, I don't think that was enough to change his price.
So right, I want to hear your opinion on the Cavs so far, and do you think they make the playoffs playing going the rate they're going right now? Okay, so
earlier I said I predicted the Cavs win 35 games this season, and I based off of if injuries taking place, I can see that kind of going to 30. But sincerely, I can see the Cavs getting in the playoffs, but the Cavs would have to stay healthy, which is a very hard thing to do. And I'm also right now I'm looking at the.
So right now, really, we're the 4th seed and we're 9-5. We're 1 game behind the Wizards, who are the 1 seed.
But because Boston is going to end up getting back in there, Milwaukee is going to end up getting a spot eventually.
Atlanta's doing horrible this year.
No, the Bucks. I said, the Bucks and the Celtics.
But you see, Atlanta, they're 4-9 right now.
Oh yeah. Atlanta's they got a lot of things to. I think they got to make a trade. But it's too early for some of those type of teams though, and I feel like Atlanta Atlanta right now is not handling the new ruling with the fouling too. Because you can almost tell right now which teams is benefited because of fouling based off of how they've done. So like Atlanta, you feel well, Brooklyn overcome, but they got the star power. But teams that really, even Boston, like they rely kind of heavily on those ticky-tack fouls, and they're not really getting them. Yeah. And I feel like, and right now you seeing teams who's been kind of gritty, kind of right now, like because right now you see the Wizards, number 1 seed in the East, right? I don't see the Wizards staying there. I see Brooklyn staying where they at. I see the Bulls staying where they at. I see the Heat, the Sixers, the Knicks. I can see the Hornets actually get a spot. I don't know. I think, yeah, health is going to play a big factor. It's going to play a huge factor because if they can stay healthy and, make some very good acquisitions down the line, I think that they could, or at least play in, because you also got to factor that in too. So even though it's 8 spots, it's technically 10 because you got 2 spots where you still got a chance to get a spot in the playoffs. So at the very least, I can see them making play in. What about you?
Well, really, right now, how they're playing, I think we'll end up sneaking into the playoffs because it's just that a lot of these teams, I feel like they're very underperforming. I know it's early, but a lot of these teams, some of these teams that were playoff teams last year are like not the same teams that I thought they were. Also, yeah, and I just feel like the Cavs, they had a tough schedule so far. I mean, really, if you look at the teams they have faced so far, hold on, if I can pull this up. Our schedule so far, we faced. So we faced. Where is it? So we faced Memphis, Charlotte twice, Atlanta, Denver, Clippers, Lakers, Suns, Portland, Raptors, Knicks, Wizards, Pistons, and Celtics. So, and even in the games they lost, they've been competitive against these good teams. They haven't lost a bad team yet. They beat some very good teams. I just feel like if they can keep this up, then I think they will make the playoffs. Just how they're playing right now.
I don't know what I was looking at, but yeah, I agree with that. And the reason I agree with that is because I really feel like the Cavs, like you said, is playing really, really hard. Like they're not giving up, right? And
the thing with the Cavs really is they don't have like an actual like star player.
Exactly.
And they're just playing like a collective team right now, and that's how they're winning games. They're not just one guy carrying.
It's like the Clippers. Like if you remember a long time ago when their best player was Tobias Harris.
Yeah.
If they was balling out with Patrick Beverly, Lou Will, Montrezl Harrell, it wasn't a legitimate star. It was just a team effort, right?
Look at the Knicks last year. I mean,
it's same
thing.
I mean, I guess you can say with Drew Randall, but still, yeah, it was still. And this is what I've been saying to y'all for, especially last year, where I was like, the reason why I feel like we could trade for a young talent because we don't necessarily have a franchise player.
Well,
if Collin Sexton's healthy, he would technically be our star, but.
I was about to bring up Evan Mobley with how fast he's developing this year, but.
Yeah, but he's not necessarily the franchise player yet. Yes, he's been very impressive. I like what he's doing. It's alongside with Jared Allen, but we still don't necessarily have a franchise player, which is where, for a young team like this, it kind of is open season. So now you can truly see who is that type of player, right? Which is a good environment because now it's competitive everybody's hungry. Everybody feels like they got a shot because they do, right? And honestly, that's why I was liking JB Bickerstaff, because this is the type of system JB Bickerstaff plays. You get what I'm saying? Now, for granted, I know we've kind of not given them the benefit of the doubt when it comes to injuries, right? A lot of times, right? And we grade them on that too. But I really sincerely believe if he has a healthy squad, he can really do something. I think his system, especially defensively, is crazy. Offensively, it could use work, but I think me personally, correct me if I'm wrong, Antonio, I feel like he just needs some more shooters to really make that offense look good. But I guess any team say they need some more shooters, right?
And bro, I know you're not high on Koby Altman, but you have to give him a round of applause this offseason, man. The acquisition of Ricky Rubio was an amazing move. And then of course the drafted Evan Mobley.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to give him a round of applause this offseason, really.
Real, I mean, but if you look at those two, like Rubio, yeah, I will give him credit for that though, because honestly, I was on record for saying I didn't see that working out the way it's working out currently. But can I really give him credit for like with Evan Mobley, because that was kind of a given at the position.
Well, really, you know, he could have traded down from the pick, or he could have.
I mean, but was that really the smartest decision though? Like, yes, he could have traded just like any other team, but realistically, Cleveland was not in a position to trade down. Like, unless we was getting a real asset back, but we wasn't in the position because we didn't have no forwards or no decent forwards. We truly didn't have a power forward because Kevin Love was not there typically. So it's like, if you look at those two moves, yes, those was great moves. I give him credit for that. But outside of that, I mean, yes, he got Laurie, but he paid him a lot of money. And what else did he do? I will say it was his most active off season for sure. But I don't know.
Well, I think we need to give him credit overall for building this young core.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah.
And then he got Jared Allen for peanuts. So yeah,
sure.
He's looking like an all-star right now.
Yeah. All right. So if we talk about that, yeah, because I will agree how he got Jared Allen out of a deal where we gave up second round picks in a James Harden trade. I applaud him, right? How he got it was something else I thought he did in the offseason. Jared Allen. I think it was another player we got. Well, technically we got JaVale, but then we flipped them, which I was. Oh yeah. That was actually pretty, and it was decent because JaVale served his purpose, and then we got more second round picks too. But I feel like it was another move I'm missing. But yeah, I will agree if we talk about Jared Allen, yeah. And then the deal too with Jared Allen, because I'm not gonna lie, I didn't think $100 million. $100 million was actually my preferred price, but I didn't think he was gonna get that low. Like, looking at how players is gonna been getting paid these past couple seasons, I'm like, yeah, Jared Allen might get 140, 150, but got 100, right? Which has kind of got me excited to see what he gives Collin. But at the same time, it's like, you still got to understand we are kind of strapped in on money because he did pay Jared Allen. He paid Lauri Markkanen. We still owe Kevin Love, and we're potentially going to pay Collin Sexton, right? So salary-wise, this is the core we believe is our future. So to really be devil advocate, is like, yes, Koby Altman made some really brilliant moves. A lot of them's not credited because of how smooth they was, but at the same time, it is some decisions that he's gonna have to answer to this season, or at least before the trade deadline.
I agree with that. And really another guy I like to bring up, Cedi Osman, how much he's improved this season from last season. How much he's improved his shooting from last season. He's shooting 41% from the three and 47% from the field, which is a massive improvement from last season.
Mm-hmm.
And now, the thing is, really, I think he's more in a better role off the bench now, to where he doesn't have to deal with the pressure of being the starting lineup, and that's why he's doing better.
I agree that I think that do helps them, but do you also think that's attributed to them having a better or more seasoned point guard? Because now we got now that Collin's not necessarily playing, but now that we got Garland and Rubio, who's both great facilitators, they're looking to get their team good shots, right? Which we've seen time and time again. Because Rubio tonight had 7 assists tonight?
7 assists.
So he has opportunity, and then that's not even really counting the assists. He's off the ball. You know what I'm saying? They have Rubio IQ. I know people don't give him a lot of credit because Rubio's not, he's not the big Kyrie Irving. He's not the Russ to Dame. You get what I'm saying? But
yeah,
I think Rubio does serve his purpose. And to be honest, that's the only reason I didn't think it was going to work, because I just didn't think him and Garland on the floor at the same time would work. But as I'm seeing, low-key, that might be one of our best lineups when both of them is on the floor, right? And to your point, I think that's where players like Cedi, they can really be themselves, because they know they got a point guard. They got 2 guards who's literally looking to find them open, right? You got players like Evan Mobley and Jared that knows if they play the pick and roll, pick and pop perfectly, I'm getting the ball, right? I'm getting I'm getting a transition bucket. And I think this is where I think Koby Altman is going to have another decision, because it's do I need Collin, Sexton? Right, assuming Garland's develops his.
Well, here's the thing, Relly. If Collin Sexton would be willing to take 6-man money, would you pay him then?
I don't. He said if he's willing to take 6-man money.
Yeah.
Would I be willing to what?
Well, would you be willing to pay him then?
If he's willing to take 6-man money, yeah, but Collin Sexton's not gonna take 6-man. If we gonna be honest here, you got a player who's so far stayed his whole career in Cleveland, has been the first option since he's been here. He's been the highest scorer on the team since he's been here, except this year so far. He's not gonna take no 6-man money. I'm sorry, especially when you see and I agree with you. That would be probably the most logical for Cleveland. But when you got Shea, good point guard, making 190, and you got Michael Porter Jr., who he might say I'm better than, making $205 million.
That was ridiculous, bro. That's ridiculous.
So I know for Collin Sexton, he's probably looking at it why am I taking a pay cut when I'm at the very least I'm better than him? So if he got paid that, I should get paid that. You get what I'm saying? Now I also understand that we're one of 2 teams who actually can afford to pay Collin Sexton that type of money. But it's I think Collin Sexton is in a great position where he can gamble that. I don't think he's going to get lowballed like Schroeder or Victor Oladipo, because he doesn't have the injury report like those 2 players. He doesn't have the inconsistencies of those 2 players. He doesn't have the criticism as those 2 players. Yes, he has his criticism, but I don't think it's enough for him to settle for that much money, for that less of money. You get what I'm saying? And also for the record too, because I know it's gonna be somebody say you were Collin Sexton hater. Y'all both are like, no, we like Collin, we like our Cavs. It's just you gotta be realistic when you talk about paying somebody like Collin big dollars when he hasn't really done anything.
I've had opposing fan bases tell me that if you pay Sexton the max, you're gonna be screwed. So yeah.
Because that's true, like, because I'm a business major, so when it comes to money, I really look at that. And if you paying Collin Sexton $30 million plus,
or it's like $25 million,
that's logically that doesn't make sense for a team who has not yet made the playoff with that player as their first option. Right, so it's like I would understand if Collin Sexton, let's say rookie year he didn't make the playoff. Okay, that makes sense. But then sophomore season, junior season, playoffs, and then this season he got hurt. All right, I would understand you pay him not 205, but I understand if you pay him, right?
Yeah.
But so far he's been here. He hasn't got us in the playoff. He hasn't got us in the play-in. We've
really, we can only use the not help excuse so much. So yeah,
and even that's even more reason why you shouldn't pay him. Like if you know you don't got talent around him, why am I locking in with a player that makes it even harder to trade to get assets on the team if there's no assets on the team? Like only dumb teams do that. Like only dumb teams will strap themselves in contract where they cannot get out. Like, yes, and Collin Sexton is a young player, but if you got a price tag that high, and let's say for reference, you averaging 16 points, why am I essentially got to trade a all-star level talent just to get a player who hasn't been in the playoffs yet? That doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
So you basically, in a way, you're going to be in a Ben Simmons situation. The only difference is Collin Sexton is not afraid to shoot the ball, but there's facts about, all the other things, and they're like, dang, he doesn't pass as good as Ben. He doesn't rebound the ball as well as Ben. He doesn't play defense as well as Ben. So he's not as tall as Ben. So why am I doing that trade? It just doesn't make sense. But and
really, I would like to say that I was wrong on the Frobley, Allen and Mobley duo. I was wrong on it because honestly, I didn't think it was gonna work. I like to admit I was wrong. They have been playing amazing, beyond expectation, beyond what I expected. Like I did not expect Allen to step up this much. I didn't expect Mobley to play like this. It's been crazy.
Out of the two players, I didn't expect Jared Allen to have this jump this fast. Honest, I'm agree with you because I liked Evan Mobley because I did a breakdown and so I knew it was certain things he would bring to the team. But like you said, in terms of Jared Allen, I did not think Jared Allen would develop this even offensively. I didn't think he was going to develop like that.
Yeah.
And then defensively, he took it to an even higher level.
Like he was already an elite defensively.
So it's like, man, if we can really, so now it's looking at it like, if we can really get a good small forward, and we can get some consistency on our guards, we can, like I know I'm a Cleveland fan, but we can sincerely make a run for the playoffs, like a realistic run.
No, really going back to the small forward thing. If you are the Cavs, the Cavs right now, and you see you're winning games, would you be willing to give up the necessary picks to get in a guy that can elevate, that can help you win now?
It depends on who that player is. And it depends on his contract.
So
if it's a 1-year rental, no. And it doesn't even matter what the player is. If it's a 1-year rental, I'm not doing that.
We're talking about someone like maybe a Brandon Ingram, how bad the Pelicans are doing.
You know, and I probably would have to give up Collin. I might do that. Yeah.
Huh?
Whatever it takes to get Ingram, like, and even if it takes Collin, I might.
Would you give up Okoro?
Honestly, I might do it. I might, and I love a curl. Y'all know I do, but for Ingram,
yeah,
because he's a player who I've slandered a lot because I just did not see it. But Ingram might be hungry for his own team, and I think he would be the player that will come to Cleveland, and he will be happy to prove that he can be a franchise player. And he's in the East too, so he doesn't play a lot of elite wings in the Eastern Conference a lot of the time. So
well, he's in the West right now, so.
No, but I'm saying if he were to be, if he got traded to Cleveland, like worst case scenario, he'd have to play KD, KD every once in a while, and Giannis, but they might have Giannis at the power forward, so you might not really see Giannis. And I'm trying to see who else is a small forward in the East. Let
me think.
KD, Giannis,
Jimmy Butler.
Yeah, Jimmy Butler. That'd be good. That might be it. Honestly, that might be. So yeah. So he's for the majority of his games, he's gonna be having fun in the East. So he would literally have the advantage across because now he gets a team that he can literally be a star on. He's signed long term already. He's young. Yes, he has some questions on the injury side, but I think that's a gamble we can take.
Mm-hmm.
Gambles. I think most of Cleveland might mess around and drive Collin Sexton to New Orleans to get Ingram. To be honest,
bro, I would do anything to get Ingram right now.
For real. Like and I love a curl, but if it really took me giving up Collin Sexton and a curl to get Ingram, I'm doing it.
Speaking of a curl, Relly, are you concerned about him on offense? Like,
no, because like even I told y'all, like this is what you expect out of a player that was literally bred to be a pure defensive player, right? Like I compare him to Jimmy Butler and Kawhi Leonard for a reason, because those two players. Yeah, because I say I'm almost out of time, but I compared it to them two players because if you look at those two players, they did not have any offensive talents when they got in the league for a couple of years, right? It took some time to develop that, right? I think Isaac Okoro is gonna probably take, this is second season, it'll probably take his senior year to really get developed offensively, like the way we want him to get developed. And it's probably going to take him getting put at the shooting guard to really get that out too. Because honestly, I don't think small forward, like I've been saying, I don't think small forward is his true
size.
Yeah, he's and people wonder why I've said that, is like you said, he's not tall enough. Like if he's playing KDs and LeBron and Kawhis, they're gonna have fun. he's had his best games when he's been put at the shooting guard and Darius Garland was the one, because now
even though he was pretty bad today at the shooting guard.
But a lot of that is, I think, attributed to
are you concerned? Are you concerned with teams starting to leave him wide open at the 3-point line?
It's a problem. But it's a problem. It's a problem if he responds well, is a solution by itself, right? Because if he noticed this season, let's say this goes on the whole season, and he noticed people is willingly, they're willing to die for you shooting a three, he's gonna be in the gym that summer. Because he's like, oh, yeah, I can't have that. Because that was the same thing with Kawhi and Jimmy Butler. They was literally leaving, even Giannis, they was leaving him. They was like, yeah, you can have it, you know? Now, if he decides to be Ben Simmons and he's not trying to work out on that shot, then that's now, like, if he gets next season, he's still on that would be a huge problem. But right now, I think it's experience for him. Right, it's not a problem yet. It's not a problem, especially now because we're still rebuilding. Right, we're still developing. So like his spot is not necessarily in jeopardy. He's not in jeopardy, and it's a lot of teams that like him because defensively, like what he brings defensively, low key to an extent overshadows what he doesn't bring offensively right now. But next season, I think that's when you can kind of evaluate him a little closely, but right now, no. I think he's okay. He's a sophomore, you know. Like it's not many sophomores from his class that we really truly talk about, except honestly, now that I really think about it, so you gotta give him maybe. Edwards and LaMelo. And LaMelo, but outside of that, I mean, and Tyrese Halliburton, but outside of that, I mean, it's not a lot. And we knew this. We knew this before we drafted him, that he wasn't one of those type of players yet. This is why I said he was one of those type of players we're gonna have to develop him right, which I think the Cavs could do. But you're gonna have to be patient. Like he's one of those, like him and Dylan Windler was a perfect example of players you have to be patient with, because they can like, and this is why I said I fear for him a little bit, because Cleveland got the reputation of not being patient, and it's understandable. But at the same time, when you got, like I said, Isaac Okoro, who literally got drafted, and his scouting report was he's a defensive player with limited offense, what do you expect? Like his first instinct offensively is to get to the basket, you know. But yeah, we give him some time.
So another guy that I know you brought up, Cam Reddish, about training for Cam Reddish possibly.
So with Cam Reddish, since we got 5 minutes, we're gonna make this the last remark. But for Cam Reddish, it depends on I'm not giving up Collin for Cam though.
Yeah, I won't either.
I do want Cam because I think he's another example of a player that needs a better system. A system, because right now Atlanta's not in development mode. They got young talent, but they're not in development mode. They're in playoff contention mode. And the problem with playoff contention mode is that you usually settle with the players who's got you in the position to be in the playoffs, right? And Cam Reddish wasn't one of those players, which means he has to fit in where he fits in. You get what I'm saying? Because Trae Young's going to get the ball. John Collins going to get the ball because they paid him. And Clint Capella's going to get the ball in the pick and roll. So that leaves you with, let's say, like 4 or 5 shots, right? Gallinari's going to get like 3-4 shots, right? Lou Williams, when he plays, he's going to get like 3-4 shots because he's a bucket getter. You know, yeah. So it's like, it's a pecking order, and he's not at the top 4 or 5 of the pecking order. So I think for Cleveland, since we don't have a franchise player, he'll blossom because he can literally get a chance. Like, it might be nights where we might not play him, but then again, it might be nights where he gets almost 40-something minutes because we desperately need a wing player, and he would technically be our only pure wing on the team if we had him. That's why I think Ingram would blossom, because he would literally be our only pure wing. Because all the other wings we have are either would technically be traditional 2s or traditional 4s. We just got them out of position because we have to, you know? Like, I mean, technically, Jetty Osman would be a wing, but sometimes he works better at the 2 as well, depending on who's on the floor.
He works better off the bench.
Yeah, so that too. And him as a bench player doesn't necessarily help us yet because we don't have everything else established yet. So,
really realistically see the Cavs being in terms of seeding, like.
I'm gonna be real here. I'm gonna end this. I promise, because I do not want this to cut off. I see the Cavs. I see Cavs probably being like a 9 seed team, so that'd be playing. I can see that because looking at the teams, because I think Boston's gonna get their way in there, and there was another team I looked that's gonna get in there. I think ninth. I think we can get ninth, and depending on how the second half of the season ends up, I think we could win a 9th seed game. But we gotta see some more games, man, because a lot of games has not been played, and it's still really, really early, and especially in basketball terms.
Where I might be a little high on them, but I think we're gonna be like the 5th or 6th seed, something like that.
Yep, I'm definitely clickbaiting that one. I'm definitely. Yeah.
I mean, they're playing really.
They are playing good. I'm just optimistic on the injuries. That's the only thing. Because last year, but like I said, you could be very true. You could be very true because the Cleveland Cavaliers are looking hungry. Like, this is probably the hungriest I've seen them in a while, But, with all that being said, before Zoom cuts us off, I want to thank you, Antonio, again for coming on the channel. And you know what? We probably, next Friday, we probably got to do this again, man. I'm not going to fake it to you. I think we got to do this again. But like I said, man, thank you for joining. And, like, share, and share. I don't know why I can't say like, share, and subscribe on the channel, man. Yeah.